Thanks for the support as a channel member, Joel Wayrouch. Yeah, I know we're currently sat outside of the playoffs. I know it's only, believe it or not every team gets promoted every single year. I know you're used to it, but this is quite a hard league. And do you remember all those years ago, you telling me I could only sign under 18s? Yeah. I warned you at the time it might start to become a problem around now. Well, guess what? It's becoming a problem around about now. Hello, welcome to part 54 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you, both in the Championship. We're at home against both Birmingham and Blackburn, and we're just about hitting the halfway point of the season as well. Since you were last with me, as you can see, we're sometimes good, we're often not. And that seems to be a bit of a theme for us. Renan is getting better and better all the time, which I guess is the big high point of how things are going. He is now considered the best left winger at the club. He's behind only Hodgkinson and Curry as best striker at the club. 8 goals from 14 starts, 8 from 21 when you include all his substitute appearances as well. And he is starting to hit some goal-scoring form for us. Even played him as a striker in the last game, coming off the bench. And he scored a very good goal, actually. I want to show you this goal from Renan in this last game. I know we lost the game, but the goal really is it gives me hope for what might be to come from the future for this young striker who I get the feeling we need to probably start building the team around now. We're defending our own corner here. He's picked the ball up just on the edge of our own area, ran the full length of the pitch and just tucked it into the back of the net. He came off the bench about 30 seconds before that. He then also provided the equaliser for Danny Pritchard in that game, but we then went on and conceded anyway. But Renan is the bright point. The league table, I'm being a little bit negative, but actually the league table is absolutely fine. If you remember this season, the media were expecting us to get relegated. We're predicted as the 23rd best team in the division. So to be 22 games in, already have 34 points on the board. On the board. We're in a situation now where if we win another 5 games in the second half of the season, then we're guaranteed safety, and anything from that is a bonus. A mid-table season won't do us any harm because a mid-table season should allow the likes of Renan and Williams and the players who are a little bit younger to get a little bit better and maybe help us push on for a promotion push next season. But this is the team we're going to put out there against Birmingham. I am starting Renan as a striker because I think we're reaching the point where I've got to. He's still, the coach reports still think he's going to be the best left winger at the club, but Hamilton has been one of our better players this season again, playing on that left-hand side. That's the wrong screen. This is the screen that I'm looking for. 5 goals from the left-hand side for Hamilton means he's on course for another double-figure goal season, and I don't really want to take that out of the team, especially when the player who Renan's effectively replacing up front is Jessup, who has only delivered, he's delivered the same amount of goals as Hamilton. So that proves that's a load of nonsense. Nonsense, Kev. Anyway, I'm playing Renan up front. Don't argue with me about it. We're going with Williams in goal, a back four of Hall, Davies, Charles and Curry, Bandera and Campbell in midfield, Hamilton and Jessup out wide, and then Beerith and Renan up front. I'm hoping for big things from Renan in this game. If it doesn't work out, we can always swap him and Jessup over, put Jessup back up front where he's played for most of the season, and Renan can go out to the right-hand side. I just worry the place he's least effective is out wide on that right-hand side. He's right-footed, and just having him run up and down the right-hand side playing as a winger seems a little bit of a waste of what a good finisher he is and what a good goal scorer he's proving to be. So we need to get him central or on that left, cutting inside onto his right foot. So I think this is, if we're keeping Hamilton in the side, this is the most logical spot for him to be for now. He could potentially, he's obviously still young. We can fiddle with positions and things. He could potentially be the attacking midfielder in a 4-2-3-1 that I've been threatening to do for a long time, maybe with Troy Cannon ahead of him and Renan in behind. But then we've got the whole, who do we have on the right-hand side? I guess Jessup becomes the one who goes out onto that right-hand side, cutting in onto his left foot. But then it's not that dissimilar from what we're doing now. And at least this way gets Micah Beerith or Danny Pritchard in the team as the target man. And we know how effective the target man has been for us over the years. So we're still trying to figure things out with how to get this new combination of players working for us. Still missing Zach Redmond, because if we had him on that right-hand side, then there would be less of a conversation to have and Renan would have been in as a striker for the last 10 games or so, and we'd know by now if it works. But because we had the option to put him out on the right-hand side, because we didn't really have anybody else, it made it easier to just leave him out there. And it wasn't until bringing him off the bench and seeing what an impact he had as a striker that it became clear we probably should be using him as a striker. Williams has just made a stunning save there. Alex Williams is quickly becoming the most important player in this team. Jessup with an in-swinging corner. Davies is there with the header and it goes just over. It looks like we're close to capacity here at the Home of Football again today. I think we are reaching the point where we might need to expand the stadium. I'd like to think as well, money-wise, we're going to start to fix things in this league. We're paying the lowest salaries in the Championship by a mile, but we're going to get the extra TV money, the extra prize money, the solidarity payments kind of thing. So hopefully, once that... what a save again from Williams. Hopefully, once that all comes through at the end of the season, money starts to settle down a bit and we can maybe spend the 2 or 3 years in the Championship that we might have to before we get a promotion. Is that another save from Williams? Actually putting more infrastructure in place, expanding the stadium so we don't have to ground share when we get to the Premier League, improving the youth facilities, improving the training facilities, and really focusing on getting more players like Williams coming through off the production line. Because if we can get a player of his quality through every year, then within 3 or 4 years, as long as we can keep hold of them, we'll have a team that can get promoted to the Premier League. That one, Williams didn't have that one. He knew that was going wide. That's why he's deliberately not gone for it. He's a perfect judge of where the ball was going. Don't need to waste my energy diving for that one, boss. Don't worry. You're all right, Alex. You keep doing what you're doing. I trust you at this point. Even if you make a few howlers, you're not going to get punished the way Kev goalkeepers usually do. Oh, I've made him feel better about himself, and now he's conceded a goal. That's no good, especially because they've had a player called Connor Roberts score, and we, of course, have a Connor Roberts of our own who isn't even on the bench today, but is another one who could eventually become the attacking midfielder in a 4-2-3-1 if I actually end up doing it after so many years of threatening it, but always going back to this 4-2-4 that I think we may finally be reaching the point where the 4-2-4 just isn't really working anymore. Certainly, I think with the two wide players cutting in the way they are in this one, it's providing pretty much zero service for Micah Beereth. So it seems a little bit wasteful to have an inverted winger, an inside forward, and a target man. I think you need to either sacrifice the target man or sacrifice having your wide players cut in field, because at the moment we've got a target man who's getting no service, and that just seems a little bit pointless. Jessup trying to get the crossover on his right foot, but he's a left footer and he's just not going to be as effective delivering crosses from that right-hand side as even someone like Renan would be. But as we saw when we were looking at Renan before, it's not like he's got loads of assists this season. Renan is in here, though, and that's why he needs to be playing as a centre-forward, because his composure, his finishing, his natural, ridiculous talent is a level above every other outfield player in this team. That is a beautiful finish from a player who's still only 18 years old. The confidence that he's got to take one touch and then with a second touch, just dink it over the goalkeeper. It's 1-1. Renan is now our top scorer for the season, only on 9 goals, which does say a lot about how difficult we're finding goals to find this season. But we've grabbed another one there. It's from a familiar source. The corner coming in from Nathan Curry. Both Davies and Beereth are looking for it. It's Davies who makes the connection, and within moments, we've turned this game on its head. We've gone from 1-0 down to 2-1 up, and now we've got Andy Hall trying to sling the ball into the area of a long throw. Doesn't really succeed with that, and Nathan Curry needs to take care of this, and luckily does. Plays it forward looking for Jessup, but Jessup's struggling out on the right. He's not a winger, is he? It's I think it's pretty clear Jessup is a striker. So now the question is, if we're going with Jessup and Renan up front, who on earth's playing out on this right-hand side? Are we going back to Terrell Whitaker, who's not been a regular starter since non-league? Renan scored again. Who needs wingers when you've got Renan just scoring goals for fun? Into double figures now for the season. 10 for Renan. It's 3-1 to home. And this second half has been quite the contrast to what we were witnessing in the first half. Lovely stuff again from Renan. And it's quite scary thinking about how good that boy could get. The question now is, are we going to be able to keep hold of him? Because although my grand plan that I was just talking about is to spend a few years bringing youngsters through, building a team that can eventually make it up into the Premier League. The worry, of course, when you've got someone as talented as Renan or as talented as Williams, is are they going to wait around for that process? Are they going to stick with us in the Championship when surely there's going to be Premier League clubs sniffing around because he's too good for this league, clearly. Right, we're making a triple substitution here. Jessup and Whittaker are going to be wide as wingers to try and get some more out of Beereth. There was no point bringing Pritchard on. I guess I could have brought Cannon on and tried shuffling things around a little bit, but Renan can't actually play as an attacking midfielder, which seems the logical place to put him, or maybe as a deep lying forward alongside a more attacking forward. But with Jessup and Whittaker as wingers out wide, maybe Beereth will work. Here is Whittaker in a wide area, trying to get himself into a crossing position. Beereth is lurking. He's won a penalty there, and this is going to be Renan's chance to complete his hat-trick, I think. It is Renan to make it 4. He has his hat-trick, his first ever hat-trick for home, and hopefully that's the first of many. 11 goals for the season now for the Northern Irish Brazilian, and I still love that. I'm never going to stop loving that. And 4-1, poor old Birmingham don't know what's hit them in this second half because they had this game completely under control. It was one of those where they'd probably be thinking it would have been nice if we'd have grabbed a second, but I don't think we need to worry too much. This lot don't look any good. And we've come out and grabbed 4 goals in this second half, which is a bit out of character for us as well. Vigar lumping it forward, a rare opportunity for him. Harrison Davies, once again, all tired, and I'm trying to prevent having to send him on holiday by substituting him when he gets like that. I'd like to think at some point he'll get to an age where it doesn't happen. That age hasn't come yet. Alex Williams actually got fingers to that and very nearly kept this one out as well, but it was a point-blank header that he had no right getting his hands to in the first place, never mind almost making the save, but he very nearly did. It was just too powerful for him to get enough behind it to keep it out, and it's now 4-2, 10 minutes to go. The long throw again, this time looking for Terrell Whittaker, which probably isn't the man to be aiming for in those kind of situations, and Vigar lumps it back for Renan. Renan's through on goal, 1-on-1 with the keeper again. He can't apply the finish this time, but the ball bobbles 3 to Micah Beereth, who has struggled for goals and, to be fair, struggled for opportunities in the team this season. But if you give Micah Beereth an open goal to shoot at, you know, at the very least, he's not going to miss. Renan, I mean, I don't think we can criticise him too much. He's got to thread it through the eye of the needle there to get it past the goalkeeper and the defender are closing him down. But because so many people are focused on Renan, Beereth just had absolutely nobody there stopping him tap it home. It's now 5-2 to home. But the highlights continue. Birmingham have scored again. It's 5-3. This is quite the football match now. We've conceded 3 goals and Alex Williams is still on a 7.4. It shows how well he played in that first half. And once again, there's nothing he can do about that. He's doing the best he can to keep Birmingham at bay, but still 3 goals have made it past him because the defence in front of him is a little bit iffy, especially with Vigar, Curry and Hall in there. I mean, Hall, that's a bit harsh on him potentially. But once Davies goes off, we're not quite the same team defensively. But importantly, we scored 5 at the other end, so it doesn't matter if we concede 3 if we're going to score 5. Birmingham were above us in the league before that game. We've just put 5 goals past them. We're out to 37 points. Only 3 points outside of the playoffs. We're still not looking at the playoffs, but 37 points is getting closer and closer to 50 points and safety. And that's all we're thinking about at the moment. Now we play Blackburn. Right, shuffling things around again a little bit for the Blackburn game as I try and work out how to get this front 4, all of them firing. It does mean moving Renan back out to the wing, which he's just scored a hat-trick. I need a new winger. I need someone out there who's better at it than he is. I don't really have anyone. This is the problem I'm going to have. Jessup going back up front. If Jessup is a flop, then we just put Whittaker in permanently, I guess. But I think Renan being out there gets more out of Beereth. It's difficult working out what the best thing to do is. I've also had to shuffle the defence around a little bit. Shea Charles is tired and he's having a little rest. So Campbell drops back into the defence, which means Curry has to push forward into the midfield to replace him, and Brewerton comes in at right back. Kieran Hodgkinson is still injured, should be back within a week or so. So by next episode, as long as he doesn't get a recurrence of his injury, we should have Kieran Hodgkinson back in the side. But all eyes on Renan today, this time playing on the right wing. If it doesn't work, or probably more importantly, if Jessup up front doesn't work, Renan has to go back up front and we just we worry about the right wing problem separate. I think it's harsh on Jessup. Maybe Jessup and Renan can work together. I don't know what to do. I need to go and sign a right winger, but I can't. This is all Mrs Wearmouth's fault. Whose idea was it to do a youth academy save? This is impossible. I need a right winger, and I need him now. Right, nothing's happening so far. We've got first highlight of the game is us defending a corner that Harrison Davies heads clear, and it is Renan who's pressing to try and get the breakaway there, and he wins the ball back, and Hamilton is running clear with it, and he's got a couple of options ahead of him, Jessup and Beereth. It falls to Beereth. There's Nathan Curry who's joined in the attack as well, and now Renan has caught back up with play. Brewerton on the overlap on the right-hand side can't get his crossover, but he's going to get a second opportunity at it. This time the cross does come in, and Jessup is there. But it is it's been identified as a miss at the bottom, but we've got a corner from it, so I guess it was a save. Jessup with the in-swinging corner, and Davies can't keep his header down, but that was a good move. All started from Renan being a little bit deeper, so maybe he is a winger. I don't know. Maybe I stick him on the left and Hamilton on the right, and have Renan cutting in on the left-hand side as the inside forward, and Hamilton can then be on the right-hand side as a winger, which we've never tried him as. But maybe that works. Maybe we'll do that for the second half. We'll continue as we are for the rest of the first half, and maybe shuffle around into that for the second half and try that combination. That might work. Or maybe we just bin off Jessup altogether and get Troy Cannon on, who has, I think, outscored Jessup so far this season, but Jessup just adds more to the rest of the play. As you've seen, he takes the corners. He's a bit more involved in the build-up play, whereas Cannon is just a striker. Right. Let's shuffle. So if we do that, Hamilton theoretically should be able to play there. He's an accomplished winger on that side. Renan then is going to get more involved cutting inside. So let's try that for the second half and see if that gets a little bit more attacking oomph out of Renan, whilst also allowing a winger to continue to feed Beereth, and Jessup there linking everything together the way that he does, and always looks good doing it. Even today, Jessup's got the highest average rating on the pitch, even though we've not really seen him do very much. Just the sort of thing Jessup does. He accumulates ratings because he's linking everything together and touching the ball a lot. Right, Nathan Curry with an in-swinging corner now, looking for Harrison Davies. It falls to Beereth, and Beereth scores. That's why you want Micah Beereth on the pitch, because in situations like that, you can rely on him to be a finisher. And it's 1-0 to home. Only a fourth goal of the season for Beereth, but he's not played a lot of games. And as we hit the hour mark, and we go ahead for the second time in the episode. What a weird piece of commentary. But we weren't expecting to pick up a couple of wins from these two matches. If we managed to do it, that's outstanding. I'll take. It's not so long ago I was talking about winning 5 more games for the rest of the season. Maybe I shouldn't assume we're going to win. Blackburn with the almost immediate equaliser, and then the strange ice skating celebration as he can apparently travel over a considerable distance without having to move his feet, which is impressive stuff. Blackburn have just outplayed us a little bit here. I mean, they've got better players than we have. That's going to happen from time to time. I don't think there's anyone we can criticise for conceding that goal. Right, we have seen nothing from Renan in 70 minutes now, so I think that is enough information to tell me to get him back up front and just get him in his best position and stop caring about what everyone else is doing and just let them take care of themselves. He's not there to make the rest of the team look good. He scored a hat-trick in the last game. Right, we are going to take off Hamilton and bring on Whittaker, so we are actually going to keep those two as wingers. So Jessup can drop out there as a winger, Whittaker on the other side as a winger. Renan's going to go up front. We're going to bring on Wentin in midfield, and we're going to leave it there. We'll give Renan 10 more minutes. He looks like he's actually tiring, but we'll give him 10 minutes playing up front. Although Nathan Curry now has picked up an injury, so that means Renan is going to have to stay on. Vigar, I'm going to drop into the back 4 and put Campbell further forward like that. In fact, we're going to swap those two over and make him a playmaker, which is probably what Campbell should have been from the start of the game, because we moved Curry back into midfield, and the personalised player roles break everything now. They leave everything wrong when they go. It doesn't revert back to the automatic one the way it used to, and sometimes I forget to change it back. Right, a last chance for a winning goal. Renan with the in-swinging corner, and Harrison Davies is there. And it's 2-1 to home. This is becoming a habit for Harrison Davies. Late goals in big matches. And it's a beautiful corner and a beautiful header. And it's 2-1 to home in the 94th minute to hopefully make it 2 from 2 in this episode. Pushes us back up to 7th place in the league. We are hovering just outside the playoffs. I still don't think we're going to end up getting into the playoffs, but I'm now fairly confident we're not getting relegated either, which is awesome. Right, tomorrow's episode, where are we going to be? What's going to be going on? We're probably going to get through most of January. The big thing in January is going to be, do we survive it without any of our players leaving? Because worryingly, there's Premier League teams looking at Alex Williams, and that would be an absolute disaster. Captain Cartwheel has left the club now. If Alex Williams leaves, the only people who can step up to replace him, it would be this guy, or we've got David Carter as another backup goalkeeper. In fact, he's not. I think he's out on loan. So Stephen Reed is a 4.5-star potential. We're in big trouble if we can't keep hold of Alex Williams, to the point where I wonder if I offer him a new contract now, and we're cheating the system a little bit, but sometimes I think it's okay to. I'm a monster, but we're going to add the extension clause on. So at least the first offer that comes in, we can add the extension clause on and keep him. So we absolutely have to have the optional extension. Right, that should protect him. No one's looking at Renan yet, which is good. Troy, I think everyone else is being looked at by teams of our level or lower. It's Williams who's the one where the Premier League clubs are circling. So we have to protect ourselves against losing Alex Williams. He is vitally important to the future of this save. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.